Good Thursday morning to everybody. Hope you are doing well wherever you are. It is time for another the 1987 American League replay, and we are looking at game number 272, and it's between the Cleveland Indians and the Milwaukee Brewers. We got the first place Brewers against the last place. So contrast there, but you never know what the dice are going to bring. Phil Niekro is the pitcher for Cleveland. He's 2-4 on the replay. Bill Wegman is 4-1 on the replay for the Brew Crew. There you see the starting lineups. Nothing really out of the ordinary there. It's kind of a standard lineup for the teams. And that's what the managers decided to go with. And of course, got to have this. Can't do it without this, I think, if you're trying to play this morning without having a standard cup of coffee. And we are ready to go. Got my correction tape, so if I make them, not yet, but when I make a mistake, I'll be able to correct it without the bleeding of the correction fluid, getting everything all messed up. So there's Bill Wegman. 1987, he was 12-11 with a 4.24 ERA. In the replay, he's 4-1 with a 3.65 earned run average, 57 innings pitched, 54 hits, 11 walks, and 28 strikeouts. So he takes the mound for the Brew Crew. Brett Butler will lead things off for the Cleveland Indians. Butler on the replay is hitting .398. No homers, 6 driven in. Only at .295 real world, but he's really turned it on. Hello, Bart. Good to see you. Thursday morning to you. 1-7, and that's going to be a leadoff walk to Butler. So Butler draws the free pass. And now if we look at Wegman, his pitcher-catcher hold quotient is a -1. He is a -1. Surhoff is a 0. So if Butler gets the lead, it'll be 15 -2 from Hill is 13 -1 would be a 12. Be a 1 to 60, be a 60% chance, 1 to 12, if he can obtain the lead. So he's going to try for it. 2 through 8 or a 12 gets him the lead. That's a 9. He does not get the lead. So he will hold. And here comes Julio Franco. Franco 293, 2 homers, 20 driven in. 2-7 for Franco. And that's a ground ball to short A. The plus sign is irrelevant in this case. Infield's not in. So 6-4-3 double play takes care of it. Unable to get the steal, and it cost him not only the getting scoring position, but it cost him a double play. Had he been successful, of course, that would have just been a ground out to short, and you still have a runner at second. When he can't get that lead and can't get that runner in scoring position, bad things can happen to you. Here's Pat Tatley, 354, 4 homers, 23 driven in. 2-9, and that's a 1 to 3 single. That's a 4 to 20 line to short, so he will line it right to Swain, and that's going to do it for the Cleveland Indians. Looked a good start with the leadoff walk, but the double play killed the momentum. And we got nothing going for Cleveland here in the top. And the aged one, Phil Niekro, 7-13 on the season with a 6.10 earned average. Let's see what he's doing here on the replay itself. He is 2-4 with a 7.13 earned run average. 48 innings pitched, 53 hits, 29 walks, and 22 strikeouts. Wait a minute, did it come back now? Because it looked like it was going to be circles in the sand for a second. Are we back? Looks like we're back, because at first I started seeing those Belinda Carlisle circles in the sand, and I want to make sure that that wasn't an issue. Okay, it's back. Thank you. I don't know where that was coming from. I just paid Xfinity. I just paid the monthly bill, and it wasn't cheap, so they better be providing the service that I'm paying for. The problem is there's not a lot of competition out there, so you kind of have to use them. Hey, Andrew, good to see you. No problem about the caps. Not worried about that. All right, so maybe it reset itself and got better. I don't know. I'm at the mercy of technology around here. All right, so as I was saying before I saw the circles in the sand stuff, I was going over Niekro's numbers, 2-4, 7.13 earned run average, 48 innings pitched, 53 hits, 29 walks, 22 strikeouts. And leading off for the Brewers is Juan Castillo. They're still waiting for Paul Molitor to come back from him. So right now, Castillo's hitting leadoff. He's not doing a good job of it. He's only hit a .190, no homers, 7 driven in. That's a 3-4 for Castillo. 1 for a triple. Anything else is a single. So leadoff single for Castillo. And he'd be looking to see if he can run. Niekro's quotient is a +1. He's a 0, but Vando's a +1. 3 through 6. 3, 4, 5, 6 will get him the. Hello, William and Dan. Good to see both of you. 3, 4, 5, or 6 will get him the lead. That's a 9. He cannot get the lead. He will hold. Here's Robin Yount. Yount on the replay, 13, 8 homers, 32 driven in. And what do you know it in real world? He hit 312. So he's right on his number as far as the average goes. 4-6, and that's going to be a strikeout for Phil Niekro. There's a dot there, but obviously second batter of the game, he's not tired. So strikeout is good. Yount is taken out. And here's Cecil Cooper, the designated hitter. He's hitting 258. I'm sorry, 259 on the replay. 5 homers, 14 driven in. Get 248 real world. 5-2 against the lefty is a fly ball left field X. We're looking at Mel Hall, 3E4 for Mel Hall. 3-19, he'll get to that. E4 shouldn't be much of a problem. That's an 11. E4, there's a 3-15 and 18, but no 11. So Mel Hall will retire Cooper. 2 down. Rob Deere. Deere hit 252, 6 homers, 20 driven in on the replay. Castillo still at first base, unable to go anywhere. 4-5 against the right-hander. Ground ball to second. But Bernazard makes the play, and despite the leadoff single, the Brewers don't cash in for anything. We go to the second, no score. Top of the second we go, and Joe Carter had a good game his last time up. Has been doing well lately, but still way, way behind what he did in real world. He's only hitting 181 on the replay, and he hit 264 real world. So he's got a lot of work to catch up on. 7 homers, 11 in. 6-6, and that's a fly ball to center field. And Carter's struggles continue. Here's Hall. Hall hitting 315, 5 homers, 17 driven in. 5-4. Fly ball center field X. This time Yount's got to go to the X chart for this. 2E6 for Yount. 2-15, he'll get to that. E6 and a 7 shouldn't be an issue. E6, no, 3, 4, and 15 are problems, not 7. So another good play by Robin Yount. 2 up and 2 down. And that will send us to Brooke Jacoby, third baseman. He's hitting 342, 4 homers, 22 driven in on the replay. Hit 300 on real world. 4-8, and that's a 1-2 double. 3 is a single. 2-out single for Brooke Jacoby, and his hot hitting continues. There's no threat to run, so he will hold. And right fielder Corey Snyder, the batter, hitting 234, 5 homers, 16 driven in. He hit 236 real world. 4-8, and that's trouble again. I think it was the exact same roll we just had. 6 is a 3 through 20, fits into that. So that's a single, 2 stars. And that will put runners on the corners with 2 outs. So 2-out trouble for Wegman. He's got to get Tony Bernazard, switch hitting second baseman. Bernazard hitting 224 on the replay, 4 homers, 19 driven in. He hit 250 real world. 4-7, switch hitter batting left. That's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Swain. He's a 3E25. 3-15, he'll get to it, but the E25 could be a problem. 3-15 is going to be a G1, but it's 2 outs, so it doesn't really matter. That is a 13, and he is an E25. So E25, and there's a 13 sitting smack dab in the E1 category. So the 13 on the E25 is going to create a 1-base error, and that will score Jacoby an unearned run, and the Cleveland Indians take a 1-0 lead on the error by Dale Swain. And that'll send up Chris Bando, the catcher, number 9 hitter. He's hitting a .182 on the replay, a homer and 8 driven in. He hit .218 real world. Runs at first and second. That's a 1, so chance of a wild pitch on Wegman, but his wild pitch rating's a 0, so he cannot have a wild pitch. His balk is a 4, but his wild pitch is a 0. 4-6 for Wegman. That's a fly to right, and that's going to end the inning. So an unearned run, thanks to the error by Dale Swain, cost the Brewers, and the Tribe leads at 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. Glenn Braggs will lead off for the Brewers, followed by Brock and Gantner. Hello, Mr. Goodman. Hope you are doing well today. Hello, Joel. Good to see you. Glenn Braggs hitting .291 on the replay, 5 homers, 29 driven in. He hit .269 real world, so he's doing slightly better than his real world average. 6-7 against Niekro will be a walk. First walk issued by Phil Niekro. Braggs is aboard. He can get the lead on a 5 or a 6. And he does not, so he will hold. And here comes Greg Brock. Brock on the replay hitting .336, 4 homers, 23 driven in. He hit .299 real world, so .326, obviously a little bit better, or .336 rather, obviously a little bit better. That's a 111, and that's a ballpark single check. It's 1 to 6 lefties and righties, and that's a 13, so that's a fail. So he will line it to second base, and that's 1 away. County Stadium pretty much pitcher friendly with these numbers. Here's Jim Gantner. He's hitting .302 on the replay. No homers, 6 driven in. He hit .272 real world. 5-8, and that's going to be a fly ball to right field. Hauled in by Corey Snyder, 2 down. Still at first base is Braggs, and now here's B.J. Surhoff. Hitting .309 on the replay, 2 homers, 8 driven in. He hit .299 real world. 5-10 left-handed, struck him out. Second strikeout for Niekro. And after 2 innings, the Tribe still maintaining a 1-0 lead on the Brewers. But there's still 7 innings to go, so anything is liable to happen. Never know with dice. All right, we're back to the top of the order, and Brett Butler, he walked, but was erased on a double play his first time up. It's 2-5, and he's going to walk again. So, second walk issued by Wegman. He's walked Butler twice. Last time, Butler couldn't get the lead to get a good steal attempt. He's going to try again, 2 through 8 or a 12. This time he does get the lead. 15 being held to 13. And with Wegman, it's a -1, makes it a 12. Still, it's a 60% chance, so it seems like it's a good opportunity to go for Brett Butler. 60% chance, 1 to 12. And he's in there. It's a possible throwing error on Surhoff. His T rating is an 11. But it is saved. It does not go into the center field area as Castillo is able to keep it from getting there. But it is a successful stolen base for Brett Butler. He's in scoring position with nobody out for Julio Franco. Franco hit into that double play his last time up, but it can't happen this time unless it's a Lomax. That's a 2-11, and that's a pop-up to third base where Gantner is there, 1 away. So unproductive out, does not move the runner up. And here comes Pat Tabler. 1 chance of a wild pitch for Wegman, but again, his wild pitch is a 0. 3-3 for Tabler. It's a ground ball third base B. Again, Butler has to hold at second base. So we got to second with nobody out. All of a sudden, now there are 2 outs, and Joe Carter in a clutch situation. He will lose a hit on 1-9 and 1-10. So he has 2 anti-clutch rolls in that column 1. But he finds the pitcher card, 5-7. That's a strikeout by Wegman to end the inning. That's the first strikeout for Wegman. And Carter's troubles continue. Go to the bottom of the third, still 1-0. Favor of the Tribe. Niekro will be facing Dale Swain. He's hitting .322 in the replay, 7 homers, 25 driven in. He hit .252 real world, so he's definitely doing much better. 5-4, switch hitter batting left is a ground ball third base X. We're looking at Brooke Jacoby. He's a 4, E25. 4-7, may or may not get to that. We'll have to take a look. Should get to it, though, I think. 4-7. Yep, it's a G3. No problems there. He got to it. That's a 9, and he is an E25. E25, there's a 6 and an 8, but no 9. So Brooke Jacoby wasn't pretty, but he handles it. And there's one away. Takes us back to the top of the order for Castillo. He got the only base hit for the Brewers so far when he led off the game with a single. That's a 6-8, switch hitter batting left, and that's another single. So he's 2 for 2. Here's Castillo. See if he can get a jump. See if he can get a good lead. Needs a 3 through 6 to get that good lead. And he gets the 6, so he will go. 17, being held to 15, but the +1's a 16. 1-16, and he's in there. And he is. Stolen base for Castillo. And the Brewers trying to get back in and tie this ball game. We're off to a good start. Getting a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs. And here's Robin Yount. Yount struck out his first chance. Castillo not being held at second. 6-8, and that's another walk from Niekro. His second walk of the game. Does set up a double play combination chance for Cecil Cooper. So ground ball could get the Indians out of the inning. 3-7, but it's a strikeout instead as he strikes out Cooper. Strikeout number 3 for Niekro. Knuckleball was floating on that one. And now it's up to Rob Deere. Speaking of strikeouts, look at his card. Look how it's loaded with strikeouts. That's a 2, chance for a balk or pass ball. Looking at a balk chance, and Niekro's balk rating is a 9. So he will balk. And that will send the runners to second and third on that balk. Puts him in scoring position with 2 outs. And has turned this into a clutch situation since the runners are now in scoring position. And looking at Deere's card, he has 1 hit on a 3-2 in the clutch. That's it. Everything else he's neutral. But a base hit could give the Brewers the lead. That's a 6-6, but instead he strikes out. That's going to end the inning. Niekro got him on that knuckler, baffled him with the knuckler. And it's still 1-0 after 3. And it's amazing that the Cleveland Indians have gone 3 innings and not allowed a run the way their pitching staff has been all year. Here's Mel Hall. He will lead things off in the top of the 4th. Yes, Jeremiah, clutch is defined in this game. Clutch is defined as 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Absolutely. That's when the Omega symbols kick into play. But some people don't use clutch. So, I mean, if there's people out there that don't like the clutch rate and don't want to use it, you don't have to. It's just part of the super advanced game, so I just choose to use it. I think it just adds a little something to the game. All right, here's Mel Hall. But, I mean, people are, like I say, play the game the way you want to play it. 5-5, and that's a fly to left. But if you are going to play it that way, that's how it's determined. 2 outs, runner in scoring position. If there are not 2 outs or there's no one in scoring position, you simply ignore it. Here's Brooke Jacoby. He singled his first time up. Scored the only run. 3-12, that's a Lomax injury. Lomax to third base, and there's an injury check for Brooke Jacoby. He may have to leave this game. He needs a 1-4 to stay in the game. 5 or higher, he's got to come out. And he will come out, so the Tribe will have to get a new third baseman into the ball game as he is going to be injured. And let's see how they want to play this. They're going to have to do some maneuvering of people already in there on their team. And actually looking at this, they don't have anybody that can play third base. Nobody's rated for third base on the team. Wow. How do you not have somebody rated at third base? That's kind of weird. That is really weird. I almost feel like I shouldn't even injure Jacoby now because they don't have anybody rated to play third base. Nobody. Not even Corey Snyder. He's rated as a shortstop. Bernazard's at second. Franco's second and short. Tabler's only at first. Carter's only first in outfield. So I think I'm just going to keep Jacoby in the game. I'm going to say he fought it off because they don't have anybody else to play third base. And I don't want to penalize Cleveland and have a, 5E88 out at third base. So we're just going to, it's supposed to be as played. So I'm just going to go ahead and, I had been using in-game injuries only just to make it interesting, but I'm not going to do that this time because they don't have a backup plan. If you don't have a plan B or plan, whatever, then you stick with plan A. So Jacoby will stay in the game. All right, here's Corey Snyder. 4-6. If this was Demolition League, all bets would have been off, but it's not. So 4-6 is a ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning. On a different note, I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I did catch a partial video from Sportsman Z. It was good to see him back. See, he's got some kind of new project, Strat-O-Matic, going on. So I want to watch I got to watch the rest of that video later on. But it was at least good to see him back. I know he had been having some health issues and whatnot. So hopefully he is back, and we'll be doing some Strat on YouTube. Looking forward to it. All right, so we go to the bottom of the fourth. And we send up Glenn Braggs. 6-4, and that's a ballpark single check, 1-6. The double die is a 1, so there you go. Double die shows up right on time for a base hit for Braggs. He needs a 5 or a 6 to get the lead. That's a 7. He will not. That brings up Greg Brock. 4-9, and that is a 1-5 triple. 6-20 is a double. That's a double for Brock. The double is assumed to go to center field. Braggs does run at a 15. He was being held, makes him a 14. Center fielder Butler's a 0 arm, but with nobody out, I think they're going to. I think they don't want to have an out at the plate. With nobody out, they're going to make it second and third and put the pressure on Niekro. So second and third, nobody out, and here's Jim Gantner. Try playing the infield in. To play in. 2-9 for Gantner, and that's a hit by pitch. A soft knuckleball floated too far in the zone and hits Gantner. It's going to load the bases. And now with the double play in order, they're going to play back for the double play with Surhoff. Give up the run to get the 2 outs and try to get out of the inning. So Surhoff, bases loaded, nobody out, infield at double play depth. 6-8, and that's a single to left field. Doesn't matter what kind of depth they're in. That's a single to left, and we got a tie game. Brock, who does not run all that well, will hold. Hall has a -1 arm, and he's only an 11. So with nobody out, why risk it? Just go station to station. We got a tie game at 1. The bases are still loaded with nobody out for Dale Swain, and this is where it could avalanche and get away from Phil Niekro very quickly. That's a 2, chance of a balk or a pass ball. We're looking at a pass ball chance, and Bando's a 9. His pass ball rating is a 9. And he lets a pass ball get through, and that's going to give the Brewers the lead on the pass ball. So runners are now second and third, nobody out, infield in. Brewers now lead it 2-1. That's a 6-6, switch hitter batting left. 6-6 is a ground ball shortstop X. And the shortstop in this case is Franco. He's a 2E26. 2 and a 14. 2 and a 14 is a G1. That is a 14 as well, and he is an E26. I think the 13 was the error. No, 12 is an error, not the 14. So it is a G1, second and third. Infield in is just on the batter. Everybody else holds. So a 6-3 ground out, and the runners have to hold. Had they been back, that run would have scored. But they took the chance that a ball wouldn't get through and got the first out. And now with one out, of course, you're definitely going to still stay in. And Castillo, the batter, infield still in. 3-6, and that's a walk, so that's going to load the bases again. For Robin Yount, he could really blow this game open with a big hit right here. Niekro needs the double play. They're playing for the double play. 5-12. It's a ground ball, first base C. They won't get it. The only play by Carter is the throw to Niekro covering first. All runners will advance, so scoring is Gantner. It's now 3-1 Milwaukee. And that'll bring up Cecil Cooper. 2 outs, runners at second and third, a clutch situation again. 3 runs are already in. In the clutch, he gains a hit on 2-8 and 2-12. Also on 1-9 and 1-10. So definitely positive for the clutch. But that's a 4-11. And that's a ballpark single check. That's an 11. Only he needed a 6, so he's going to line it to second to end the inning. But 3 runs come in for the Brewers as they take a 3-1 lead. And it just felt like it was a matter of time before the Indians pitching staff gave up some runs. It is now a 3-1 lead for Bill Wegman to protect. He's got a fatigue rating of 7, so he's good to go for a while. Tony Bernazard will lead it off. He reached on an error by Swain his first time up. That produced the only run of the game for the Brewers, for the Indians. 1-5, and that's going to be a leadoff walk from Wegman, and that is his 3rd walk issued. Let's see. I don't know. With the -1 there and down 3-1, I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to try anything with Bernazard. I think they're just going to leave him at first base. Brewers will hold him, but because if you don't hold him, he automatically gets the lead. So they're going to hold him on, but the Tribe's going to let Bando swing away. 2-5, and that is a single to center field. Clutch symbol there, but obviously we're not in the clutch situation. So first and second, nobody out. All of a sudden, the tying runs are on base with no one out. And here comes Brett Butler. Could bunt in this situation. He is an A bunter. So that's what they will do. Butler will be looking to bunt. That's a 2, though. So before he gets to bunt, there could be a pass ball or a balk. That's going to be a pass ball chance on Surhoff, who's a 5. Nope, he's blocked, so we go straight to the bunt. The bunt will be fielded with that 6. That's going to show the bunt is fielded by the 3rd baseman. So Gantner will field the bunt. Butler is an A bunter. The corners are in, makes him a B bunter. Still needs basically a 1 to 9 to have a good bunt. 7 is a good sacrifice, so that will go down as a sacrifice hit, 5-4. And going into scoring position are Bernazard and Bando. And now it sets it up with 2 chances for a base hit to tie this game. Julio Franco is your batter. Franco's 0 for 2. Runners at second and third. Only 1 out. That's a 3-7, and that's a fly ball center field B ? So this is a possibility of a sacrifice fly. Bernazard runs at a 15. Center fielder Yount is a +2, makes him a 17. And then the +2 again makes him a 19. So 1 to 19, he's going to score. The only way he's out is on a 20. And so it's a good sacrifice fly for Julio Franco. Sacrifice fly will score Bernazard, cuts the lead to 3-2. So small ball in effect here for the Cleveland Indians as they cut into that lead 3-2. Still have a runner at second in Bando with 2 outs for Pat Tabler. Bando no speed though, very slow, only a 9. And not being held makes him a 10. 2 outs will make him a 12. So that's the highest you're going to get. 5-5 for the right-hander as they fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. But Cleveland does strike back for a run and cut the lead to 3-2, trying to keep Milwaukee within shouting distance, not let them get too far ahead, where the game is basically over in that situation. So you want to make sure you stay in the game as long as possible. Niekro back out. His fatigue is the 6th inning, which is next. We're only in the 5th, so he's still good to go. And here's Rob Deere. 5-6, and that's a fly ball to right field for Deere. 1 away. And that brings up Glenn Braggs. He started this whole mess in the last inning with a single. 1-9. He will do the same again. Another single for Glenn Braggs. He's 2 for 2. And he's going to be looking to get a lead. Couldn't get the lead last time, but he's going to try it this time. He needs a 5 or a 6. Gets the 6, so he will go. 16, being held as a 14. Niekro's a +1, make it a 15. 1 to 15, he steals it. 20, he's out. Caught stealing by Bando. So Bando threw him out, and Franco puts on the tag. Out goes 2 to 6 for out number 2. Base is clear now for Greg Brock. 5-5, and that's a base on balls. Another walk by Niekro. Brock, no threat to run. He will hold. For Niekro, that is, let me count his walks. I hadn't been counting his walks like I should have been. 1, 2, 3. Looks like that's his 4th walk, and he's also hit a batter. So here comes Gantner. Three-4 for Gantner is a ground ball to second. Bernazard has it, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing there for Milwaukee. They keep the score at 3-2 as we head to the 6th inning. Top of the 6th will be the struggling Joe Carter. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout in this game. Definitely struggling. Don't know why. He's got a great card, but he just keeps finding the bad results. 3-7, and once again, ground ball to short. So he's 0 for 3. Brings up Mel Hall. Hall is 0 for 2. He's flied to center and flied to left. 6-3, and that is a fly to right, so he's going to complete the circuit. But it is an X chance for Glenn Braggs. Braggs is a 3E13. 3 and a 5. That's interesting. That might drop. Take a look here. 3 and a 5 is going to drop for a base hit, and the 16 is problematic as well. Braggs an E13. There's a 12, 15, and 17, but no 16. So it won't be an error. It'll just be a single for Mel Hall. He dropped that right in front of Braggs. That brings up Jacoby. That's a 3-10 for Jacoby, and that's a ground ball shortstop A. Boy, 3-11 would have been a home run chance, but 3-10 is a ground ball shortstop A. It's a 6-4-3 double play to end the 6th inning for the Cleveland Indians. They come away empty-handed. 1 out single goes for naught. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, still 3-2. This is the fatigue inning for Niekro. We'll keep an eye on his fatigue, although the Cleveland bullpen has been overworked. When we had that off day on the 21st, they played the only game. Everybody else had off. Them and Minnesota played the only game. So, bullpen would like to have Niekro go a little bit longer. Surhoff, 3-6. That's a ground ball to short. One away for Dale Swain, the number 9 hitter. So far, Niekro holding the zone. That's a 5-6, switch hitter batting left. That's a ground ball to second base C. There's a dot there, but he has not reached fatigue yet. So that will be out number 2. And here's Castillo. Castillo has walked and singled twice, stole a base. 1-8, and he's going to strike out right here. So Phil Niekro will keep full endurance into the 7th as he gave up nothing. That's the 5th strikeout for Niekro to go with 4 walks. So we go to the 7th. It's still 3-2 ball game. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. 3-2 ball game. Top of the 7th. This is the fatigue inning for Wegman. So we'll keep an eye on Wegman. He does have that 7 there as a fatigue. And since we've reached the 7th inning, pinch hitting is now in play. Don't know if they'd want to pinch hit for, say, Bando or somebody. We'll find out. Here's Corey Snyder. 5-10, and that's a ballpark single check. It's a 1-6. That's a 13. So we'll keep the ground ball right back to Wegman for out number 1. And here's Bernazard. He has reached on the error and walked. 5-10. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. That's out number 2. And with 2 outs and the bases empty, they're just going to go ahead and Bando hit. 6-6, switch hitter batting left. That's a fly to center. That's going to end the inning. So Wegman will keep his full endurance. As he will pitch into the 8th inning. Still a 3-2 ball game. Niekro, who keeps full endurance because he had a 1-2-3 6th inning. He will come out and he will face Yount, Cooper, and Deere for the Brew Crew. However, it is the 7th inning, and it's time for the 7th inning stretch because I need to heat my coffee to have full disclosure. I do need to go down and heat the coffee, and I don't want to leave anything with the blank screen. So we'll go with Take Me Out to the Ball Game. So you can stretch, and I can stretch by going downstairs. That'll help me stretch out as well. And it'll serve an extra purpose of refreshing the coffee. So after the 7th inning stretch, we'll be right back for the bottom of the 7th. All right, we are back and ready to go for the bottom of the 7th. Coffee is all refreshed and warmed up, so we're ready to finish this ball game. Phil Niekro facing Yount, Cooper, and Deere. Bottom of the 7th. As a recap, Milwaukee 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. Cleveland 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. So Yount, he is 0 for 2 with a walk. It's a 5-10 fly ball center field X. That'll be Butler. He's a 2 E5. 2 and a 3, that's trouble. Double die strikes again. 2 and a 3 will be a single, and that's a total of 7. I don't think there'll be an error on that. There is not. But that double die being a 3, a 2 and a 3 makes that a single. So it's going to drop in front of Butler. And Robin Yount is on first base. To get the lead, needs a 5 or a 6. Gets the 5. He's going to go 16. Being held as a 14, plus 1 is a 15. 1 to 15, he steals it. And he's in there. Stolen base for Robin Yount. And that'll bring up Cecil Cooper. Cooper, the batter. The runner now at second base, and Yount. And nobody out. Looking for insurance run. 6-7. That's a 1 to 19 single. Base hit. Only 1 star, so it's going to put runners on the corners. And the Cleveland bullpen immediately gets into full duty. Ed Vandenberg, a left-hander, is loosening. Whoops. His card here. Ed Vandenberg is loosening. And if it gets down to, when it gets down to Brock and Gantner and Surhoff, 3 lefties, they will be going to Gantner, assuming Niekro makes it that far. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Infield is in. They're already down by 2. They just really can't afford to give up another run. Niekro needs a big strikeout, and Deere's the kind of guy he can strike out. 1-7, and there you go. He struck him out. Right on demand there. So now, if they want to play for the double play, it could get him out of the inning. So they will drop back into double play. There's a lot of ground ball A's on Glenn Bragg's card. So they will play back for that double play. 1-3, and there you go, right there. Ground ball third base A, right on cue. 5-4-3, double play. And Niekro survives the 7th. But I think that's going to be it for Niekro. With the lefties coming up next inning, they will bring in Vandenberg to pitch the 8th. Vandenberg did not pitch in their previous game, so he has pretty good rest. But Niekro is going to get out of the mess. And actually, all in all, pitched a pretty decent ball game. All things considered, quality start if you like that terminology. Where he goes 7 innings, only gives up 3 runs. So we'll go to the box score just to get the exact information on Niekro and make sure I didn't miss anything. Niekro, 7 innings pitched, 8 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. The pass ball would have normally been an unearned run, but the hits that came behind it made it an earned run. 4 walks and 6 strikeouts. And the bottom of the 8th, we will see Vandenberg. But right now, Wegman has full endurance as he went 1-2-3 in the 8th inning, or 7th inning rather. So he has full endurance. And Butler steps to the plate. 3-4 for Butler. That's a ground ball to short. 1 away. Good idea to keep Butler off the bases. Here's Franco. Franco had a sacrifice fly his last time up. 1-5 for Franco. 1-11 is a home run, but that's a 14, so he'll settle with a double. It would have been a game-tying home run, but he got the bad roll in the D20 and takes the double instead. So the 9 run is in scoring position for Pat Tabler. And now the Milwaukee bullpen starting to stir a bit. Right-hander Mark Crystal Clear is loosening in the bullpen for the Brewers. Mark Clear. All right, here's Tabler. Tabler's 0 for 3. 4-10. Not 0 for 3 anymore. 1-19 is going to be a home run, and that is gone. Pat Tabler. A 2-run home run, and the Tribe have taken the lead. Look at it again. 4-10. In home run chance, 1-19. That's a 9. But Tabler, I'll take it back. Tabler has weak power. I just noticed that. He had weak power against righty, so it will not be a home run. It will be a single 2 stars that will tie the game instead. So I stand corrected. It was not a 2-run home run because he had weak power against righties. It's going to be a single that ties the game. So we are tied at 3. but it's an automatic two base advancement. So game is tied for Joe Carter. 3-3 ball game, top of the 8th. 4-11. That's a ballpark single check. 1-6. That's a 4. So Carter gets a base hit off the ballpark. And now Wegman, one batter away from being tired. And we'll see if they want to stick with him or not. Actually, he is tired now. The computer is telling me he's tired now, which I didn't think he would be until the next batter, but that's what they're telling me, is that he's tired. You got lefty Hall, but then you got a bunch of righties behind him. So how do they want to play this? They're going to let Wegman go one more batter, and then Clear would come in to face Jacoby. But they're going to let Wegman face Hall. 1 out, runners at first and second. One chance of a wild pitch, but he has no wild pitch rating. Or his wild pitch rating is a 0, I should say. That's what I meant to say. 2-7, and that's a strikeout, a huge one for Wegman. He gets the strikeout, and that is only his second strikeout of the game. That seems really weird, but he only struck out Joe Carter and now Mel Hall. It's only 2 strikeouts of the game. Now the question is, do you trust him to get Brooke Jacoby and get out of the inning, or do you cut your losses and go to Mark Clear? I think they're going to go to Mark Clear. They can't afford to have a fatigue base hit come through on the dot. That would give the Cleveland Indians the lead. So Mark Clear is going to make his way on for the Brewers. Wegman's going to go 7 2/3, and we'll finish up the rest of his numbers after the inning is over. So we'll bring in Mark Clear on the computer. He is coming in to face Brooke Jacoby. We'll get his numbers on the replay. Clear has done very well, outstanding as a matter of fact. He's 2-1 with a save and an ERA of 0.98. 18 innings pitched, 11 hits, 8 walks, and 24 strikeouts. His ERA real world was 4.48, but in the replay he is 0.98. So he's the guy they decided to bring in and face Brooke Jacoby. With 2 on, 2 outs, and 1 in, tie score at 3. Clutch situation for Jacoby, but it's also clutch for Clear when you think about it. 1-4, and oh boy, 1-5 would have been a 3-run homer, but 1-4 is a ground ball to third. How close can it get? But we're tied, and that will get Niekro off the hook. He will get a no decision now, as now the game is in the hands of Mark Clear and Ed Vandenberg, as Wegman will also get a no decision. So Vandenberg will be coming on, but we want to finish up and tidy up the results for Wegman. And we'll do that by going to the computer for the box score and make sure we get all of Wegman's information accurately. Wegman's going to go 7 2/3. He's going to give up 7 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of which were earned. Oh, the E6 here on Swain was the unearned run. 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. So now it's Vandenberg and Clear. They have the floor. Bottom of the 8th, Greg Brock, lefty on lefty. Yes, Dr. D, in your best Don Adams impersonation. Missed it by that much, Chief. All right, so coming on to pitch for the Cleveland Indians is lefty Ed Vandenberg. Get the numbers on his replay. Vandenberg, well, in the real world's 87 season, Vandenberg was 1-0 with a 5.10 ERA. In the replay, he is 3-1 with a save, but an ERA of 9.30. 20 innings pitched, 37 hits. That's almost a 2-to-1 ratio on hits. 8 walks, 13 strikeouts. But it's lefty on lefty, Vandenberg against Brock. That's a 6-6, and he's going to get him to line out to Joe Carter at first base, out number 1. And now he's going to face Gantner. He's in there because of the lefties. He's got 3 lefties in a row, and that's what his job is to get these lefties out. We go to Jim Gantner now. 2-10, and Gantner grounds it back to Vandenberg. That's an easy second out. That'll bring up Surhoff. 6-3. That's a ground ball pitcher X. He is a 3E20. 3 and a 15. He'll get to that. The E20. And that is a 9 for an E20. Check out the pitcher X chart. An E9. I'm sorry, an E20 and a 9. There's a 6, 10, 11, 15, but no 9. So it's a good play. Vandenberg, a very easy 8th inning. But that's all for Vandenberg because you got switchies and righties coming up. So they're going to cut their losses with Vandenberg. They know his limitations. Like Clint Eastwood said, a man that knows his limitations. So we go to the top of the 9th, tied at 3. Mark Clear back in. He only faced 1 batter. Let me see. It looks like the cards are still showing fairly well, even into the 9th. If it goes extra innings, I'll move the cards over here. And if there's a 3 or 6 roll that doesn't show completely, I'll bring the cards over. Here's Corey Snyder against Clear. Top of the 9th, tied at 3. 2-10, and that is a ground ball to third. Handled by Gantner, 1 away. I don't know why, but I'm sensing a Milwaukee walk-off here in the bottom of the 9th. That's just gut feeling. Bernazard, 5-6, switch hitter batting right-handed. That's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Swain. He's a 3E25. He's already made 1 error in this game. 3 and 11, he'll get to that. 3 and 11 is a G2, which is good enough, and that's a 9. He's an E25. E25, there's no 9. So good play for Surhoff. 2 down. And that'll bring up Chris Bando. 6-5, and that's a strikeout. He's not tired, so the strikeout is good. And we go to the bottom of the 9th, chance for the Brewers to walk it off against the Cleveland bullpen, which obviously is wanting at best. And with coming up for these righties coming up, it's going to be Mark Huseman coming in for the Cleveland Indians. He was acquired mid-season, I believe, from Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. Pitched for the Brewers in the beginning of the Mariners in the beginning of the season. So we'll get the numbers on Huseman and figure out. Yeah, he's not tired, that's for sure. They also have Ernie Camacho in the bullpen, and that's pretty much about it. Bales is tired. They do have Rich Yett. He's another guy they have in the bullpen. They're going to go with Huseman. Huseman on the replay is 0-3 of no saves and a 7.36 earned run average. And Dale Swain is the batter. 4-10, switch hitter batting left. 4-10 is a ballpark single check. It's a 1-6, but that's a 12. So he pops it up to first baseman Joe Carter for 1 away. And that'll send up the top of the order and Castillo. 5-12, and that's a ballpark blast, but Castillo has weak power, so even if it's good, it's not a home run. That's a 19. It's not even going to fit, though. It's a fly ball to right. 2 down. And Robin Yount, the batter. Robin Yount, the only one in the way of extra innings. 1-7, and that's a 1-7 double. 8-20 is a single, so a 2-out single for Yount. And with it being 2 outs, he's going to be looking to get into scoring position by taking the steal. Huseman is a -2 hold, so it's a -1 altogether. If it gets the lead, it would be a 1-13. That's still pretty good odds, 65%. So he'll try to get that lead. He does not get the lead. So it's up to Cecil Cooper, the veteran, if the Brewers are going to walk this thing off in the 9th. 1-6, he does not. He grounds to second, and we got extra innings here in Milwaukee. So despite the first place team playing the last place team, we got extra innings. We are now going to the top of the 10th, and that's going to be it for Clear. Clear is going to go an inning and a third, give up nothing, and get a strikeout. But they are going to turn it over to Dan Plesac. He is their closer, but it's no longer a save situation when you're in extra inning, so might as well go with Plesac. Lefty on lefty batting for Plesac against Butler. So we'll get the numbers on Plesac on the replay. Plesac definitely needs the work. He's only at 82% workload so far. Everybody else is over 100. So Plesac, 1-2 with 9 saves, a 3.14 ERA on the replay. 14 innings pitched, 5 hits, 13 strikeouts. He had a 2.61 ERA real world, 5-6 with 23 saves real world. So Butler against Plesac, lefty-lefty, 2-8 for Butler. And that's a single to left field for Brett Butler. Leadoff single. And now we immediately go to Plesac. He's a -2 hold. Surhoff is a 0, so it's a -2, which would make this a 1-11 if he gets the lead. But you got to try for it. You're Brett Butler, and you're leading off for the Indians, and you're in extra innings. You got to try for the lead. I mean, come on. You got to go. You got to steal. Needs 2 through 8 or a 12. He got the 2, so he's going to get the lead, and he will go. He's a 15, being held as a 13. Then the -2 will make it a 1-11. Still a 55% chance. And he's in there. Stolen base, Butler, his second stolen base of the game for Butler. He is in scoring position with nobody out for Julio Franco. Julio Franco, not much of a bunter, so he's going to have him swing away. 3-5 against the lefty, but he will draw a walk, and that's going to put runners at first and second. It does set up a double play, though. Pat Tabler actually is a pretty good bunter. He's a B bunter, so they're going to have him bunt. Corners are, let's see. Would they expect Tabler to bunt is the question. But if he's a B bunter, that means he's pretty good at bunting. So I'm going to assume that they're going to play the corners in. And so we'll do the corners in, make him a C bunter. The 5 means it's going to be fielded by the first baseman, Greg Brock. And he's a C bunter, so still needs that 1 to 8 basically to have a good bunt. That's a 6. That's defense. Now, this is interesting. With defense, batter drops down a bunt, and the defense has the option of throwing the batter out at first or trying to throw out the lead runner. The lead runner, though, is Butler, and he runs at a 16, so that's going to be awful hard to do. Brock is first baseman, so it's 16 is his running speed, -4, makes him a 12, plus the defensive rating. Brock's defensive rating is a 3, so that would make it a 1 to 15. You'd have to have 16 to 20 to be out. So they're going to take the Shore out here. The Butler's just too fast. You don't want bases loaded, nobody out. So Tabler will bunt, and it is successful. Brock will throw to second baseman covering, but the sacrifice bunt is successful. And that'll bring up Joe Carter. Infield is in, or you could walk Carter, even though he's been struggling so much, because you do have the lefty Hall right behind him. So that's a tough decision there to make. Do you walk Carter or do you pitch to him? He's been struggling so much, you hate to walk Joe Carter because he's only hitting 182 on the replay. But first, that would open up a double play possibility. So they're going to walk Joe Carter intentionally and face the lefty-lefty matchup with Mel Hall. Mel Hall, lefty-lefty against Dan Plesac. Infield playing for that double play. That's a 2-7 for Hall, and he struck him out. Strikes out Hall. Now 2 outs, and it's up to Brooke Jacoby. Plesac trying to pitch out of this bases-loaded situation. 5-5, and that's a strikeout there. So Plesac comes back and strikes out the next 2 after he loaded the bases. So the intentional walk to Joe Carter pays off, and we're going to the bottom of the 10th. And Mark Huseman back out for the bottom of the 10th for Cleveland. He'll be facing Deere, Braggs, and Brock. Deere, Braggs, and Brock. 3-7 is a leadoff walk to Rob Deere. Now, would the Brewers go to pinch runner? They certainly will. Rick Manning has already left the dugout, and he will pinch run for Rob Deere. So Rick Manning is a pinch runner, and he'll stay in the game and play left field if it goes to the 11th inning. So Rick Manning will pinch run. Deere is no longer in the game. He is out of the game. So we'll bring on Rick Manning on the computer so he can be on the base pass. Don't know if he's going to try to steal, but at least have to hold him on. And he's got a 16 speed for once there's a base hit out there. So Manning is on first base. He will try to get the lead, needs a 5. That's the only way he gets the good lead is on a 5. Does not get it, so he will hold there, and they will hold him on. And here is Glenn Braggs. He did a double play his last time up. 6-4, that's a ground ball third base X. They could do it again. Jacoby, a 4E25 though. 4E25 for Jacoby. Huge defensive play, a 4 and a 7. No double play here. They'll be lucky to get 1 out. 4 and a 7 is a G3. There's a pound there, but Jacoby is not responsible for holding anybody. So the play will be made to first base. That's a 15, and he's an E25. E25, there's a 2-base error on Jacoby. Look at that. E25 and a 15 is a 2-base error on Jacoby. I'm sorry, that's a 14, not a 15. My bad. That's a 14. No error. My bad. I did misread it at first. I did go to public school. I know how to add, so that should be 14. E25 and a 14 is no error. No error there. So he will make the play, but the only play is to first base. It's going to be a 5-3 ground out. Rick Manning will go to second base. So Jacoby, fortunately for him, does not make the 2-base error. At least gives the Tribe some options. They can walk Greg Brock, which is what they will do because his run doesn't mean anything. They will walk Brock and pitch to Jim Gantner. So Gantner is your batter. First and second, 1 out. It's a 2-7 for Gantner, and he singles to left field. This could be the ball game. Left fielder arm. Hall is a -1. Runner on base is the pinch runner Manning. And Manning runs at a 16. Rob Deere, when he was in there, he only ran at a 12. So you're getting 4 extra numbers there. So 1-16. And he was not being held. So 1-16, 1-17 for not being held, but 1-16 back for Hall. So they're going to send, obviously there's no choice but to send him. 1-16, and he will win this ball game. 17-20, the game continues. And that's it. Manning scores. RBI single from Jim Gantner, wins it for the Brewers. They walk it off in the 10th, not in the 9th like I thought they might. They walk it off in the 10th. Dan Plesac actually gets the win in relief, and Huseman will take the loss in his relief appearance. But that 4 extra numbers there helped him because had Deere stayed in the game as a 12 base runner, Well, they still would have scored because 12 would have been enough to score. 13, he would have been out. But all right, so let's get the numbers here for the Brew Crew. They win it by the score of 4-3, and I'll put it in the computer, and that'll save me the hassle of doing the math. So the Brew Crew wins again. They go to 26-11. The poor Cleveland Indians will now drop to 15-26. So Plesac, the winner, he goes to 2-2 on the replay for his 1-loss record. He gave up a hit, nothing else. Walked 2, struck out 2. Huseman, the loss, he drops to 0-4. He went an inning and a third. Gave up 2 hits and a run, 2 walks. 1 was intentional. And so the final line score, 4 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for Milwaukee. 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for Cleveland. Milwaukee again proves to 26-11. And for Cleveland drops to 15-25. Look at the standings now, up to date with this game just typed in. Milwaukee now leads the Blue Jays by a game and a half. They are 26-11. Blue Jays are 25-13. The Yankees are a game and a half back as well at 26-14. Detroit drops back to 7 games back. They are 20-19. For Cleveland, 15-26. They are in last place, worst record in the league. They are now 13 games back. But actually, they're 2 games better than they were in real world. Real world, they were 13-28 at this time. So the Brewers are the ones that are going better than normal because they were 22-15 real world, but they're 26-11 now. 4 extra wins to their docket as they wait for Paul Molitor to come back. So they had a May swoon in real world, but so far that May swoon has not come to fruition. So as we look at the schedule for the 1987 on this date, we'll see who the next game's supposed to be. This is a Friday, May the 22nd, 1987 was a Friday. So on Friday, we will be in California. We will be going to California as the New York Yankees take on the California Angels. Rick Rhoden against Mike Witt. That will be the game tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, roughly around 9 o'clock, it'll be the Yankees and the Angels from Anaheim. Rick Rhoden against Mike Witt. Tonight, Demolition League. And I believe I said it would be, well, I didn't say who it would be, did I? I have to go find that out. Yankees and Dodgers was last night. So who's on the docket now? Oh, it's San Diego and Pittsburgh. That's right. Because Paul Skeens will be making his debut. The phenom pitcher for the Pirates, Paul Skeens, will be making his debut tonight against the San Diego Padres in the Demolition League. That'll be tonight around 9:15 or so. 9 or 9:15, something like that. And then on Saturday, it'll be the NBC game of the week on season ticket baseball. No game Friday night because of football. So the Demolition League will take a night off after tonight and come back on Saturday night. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all are having a wonderful day wherever you are. Hope this Strat-O-Matic replay is entertaining for you and gives you a little bit of a break from reality, or just fun to watch, or whatever whatever it is that helps you guys get through your workday. Whatever. I mean, for me, when I was working, it was getting through my workday. I used other people playing this online to make the workday go faster. So, hello, William. I don't recognize your name before, but welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. D. Thank you, everybody who was here. And if you can, make it tonight. If you don't mind the modern game, it'll be Paul Skeens' debut as the Pirates take on the San Diego Padres from Pittsburgh in the Demolition League. Game number 33 on that out of 270. So roughly around 9 to 9:15 tonight. Probably 9:15 is what I'm guessing tonight, if you're so inclined. Or you can catch on the replay or on demand, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, that's good to go from here. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. I got to go heat my coffee up and maybe get something to eat for breakfast. And a telemarketing call comes in. Look at this stuff. It shows up telemarketing. Do you believe that? The phone call coming in shows up telemarketing. I've seen scam alert. I've never seen one that says telemarketing. That's pretty interesting. Did not know it even did that, but that's pretty interesting. So anyway, enough of that. So I'm going to go ahead and get going and get some things done I want to get done around the house. Dice insurance. No, I don't have any dice insurance. I don't know if I need any dice insurance. I got plenty of dice in the other tray. If I ever drop one, lose one, whatever. I used to try to do the dice that match the team colors, but I kind of fell into a pattern now where I like this white, red, and black. It's just a good combination for me, and I want to stick to that instead of trying to pick out colors that match the home team or whatever. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. Hope you all had a wonderful morning. Hope you enjoyed going through this Strat-O-Matic ball game with me. And the double die is the one calling. You got that right, but I don't answer that call. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you happen to choose to play, however you happen to choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.